Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan, and thanks for joining us for our Wednesday update for May 31st, the final day of autumn on the meteorological calendar. Let's take a look and see what's going on with the animated wind map. And as we talked about yesterday, a big low in the Southern Ocean, a big high to the north, and the windy westerlies blowing in between. Plenty of showers for the western side of New Zealand today, but for eastern areas, a little bit of a hint of El Nino arriving as the skies continue to dry out. And we've also got warmer than average weather in a number of places at the moment. Might just be a few degrees warmer at night, but certainly by daytime we're seeing temperatures above average for this time of the year, although it was 1 degree this morning near Brisbane and 2 degrees around Dunedin, so you don't see that every day. Let's have a look at Thursday's setup. So that high is still there to the north, the stormy stuff still down to the south, and we still have those windy westerlies which ramp up a bit on Thursday around the South Island. Still got that wet weather lining up on the western side, and the further north you go, the less amount of rain you have. So heavier falls further to the south, lighter falls further to the north, and eastern areas mostly dry and mild. You've also got that windy sou'wester around Tasmania and a weak area of low pressure around Western Australia. So as we go through to Friday, New Zealand still is in this windy westerly theme. The high from Aussie not reaching us, very much like El Nino, by the way, to see a setup like this. Colder air around the South Island, a little bit of snow on the mountains, nothing too serious. And we've got this burst of showers for the North Island. A couple of them will be heavy with isolated thunderstorms. Over in Australia, high pressure, that same high, pretty much keeping things calm. And the overnight lows going up a little bit after a couple of very cold nights this week. So as we go into the long weekend for New Zealand, that high is close to the top of the country, but not close enough to completely settle it down. But you'll notice places like the Bay of Islands, Coromandel Peninsula, Bay of Plenty, and down the eastern side of the country, mainly dry. The western side, the blue areas that you see indicating showers, only shows a low risk of mostly light showers just here and there. So we're not really seeing anything too serious showing up on Saturday for New Zealand. By Sunday, though, a more active cold front comes in with a proper southerly with it. So you'll feel that temperature drop, and the rain will be heavy in that cold front as it moves northwards. Typical autumn setup where, the warm and cold air mix up and you end up with big downpours and probably a few thunderstorms as that heads north. Windy nor'westers, they could be up to gale force for some areas, but this high pressure zone from Australia, it wants to come to New Zealand. It's struggling to. Now by Monday, that low that we've been talking about, that stormy low, that still forms. Computer modeling's been pretty consistent now for 3 or 4 days, has moved it round a wee bit, but for the last couple of days it's been placing it over the South Island. But here's a little change that we didn't talk about the other day, the high. The high is sneaking underneath it, to the south of it. And what that does is it shuts off that southerly airflow. So that southerly that we had on Sunday gets locked in by Monday, no new southerly air coming into it, so it won't be getting any colder. Now there could be some snow flurries around Queenstown, but at this stage it doesn't look too problematic for the township, but could be good news for the ski fields. And then next week, that high sneaks further around the south, completely shutting down that southerly airflow. But the cold air it brought in on the Sunday is still trapped. So it will be colder on Tuesday. Strong southeasterlies in the South Island. You'll be feeling that colder air the most. Not so bad in the north, but again, low pressure, instability, daytime heating, a few afternoon heavy falls could be possible. Even morning falls could be possible. Elsewhere, easterlies for Australia's eastern side and westerlies for the western side, and dry pretty much in the middle. So there we go. That is the forecast through till Tuesday next week. Back tomorrow, Thursday. We've got 2 videos tomorrow. Our usual one, that like today, and then we've also got our Climate Watch update for June. And we are starting to see signs of El Nino showing up in our atmosphere now. Pretty much these high pressure zones you're seeing in Australia, that's a sign of El Nino, especially when they sort of fall short of reaching New Zealand. That's kind of a classic textbook setup. Anyway, we'll have more details about that in our Climate Watch update out on Thursday. We'll see you then.